So, Richard, you're almost done. If I could just turn to the title I was given, not asked for. My name's Jeremy Farrar, Head of Welcome. End notes. Why do we still need Richard Peto? Question mark. Not a Richard Peto, not another Richard Peto, but Richard Peto. I'll come back to that at the end. So, Richard, we know how much you've really enjoyed and looking forward to this meeting and how relaxed you've been in the months of its gestation, how you didn't give a toss who came or what they spoke about. You didn't want to interfere or get involved. You left it up to your people who have followed you, just like you left all of those papers, hundreds over the years, those final drafts. When I first went to Edinburgh to sort of work in neurology, somebody there told me that you were the most irritating person to redraft a paper with. They are in the room if you want to get back at them. Neurology, Edinburgh. I'm only going to say one really slushy thing, Richard, because you've heard it all day and you must be tired of it, even you. I don't know everybody in the world, but of those people I do know, I don't know that I know anybody else that has enhanced the lives or saved the lives of so many human beings. Not only through your own work, which is obviously phenomenal, but actually through those that have followed you, those you've irritated. You've heard quite a bit of that today. Those you've inspired, those you've challenged, those of you who you've inspired to think bigger than they would have thought themselves. Actually, it's not what you've achieved, huge as that is, it's what others that you've mentored have gone on to achieve. And actually, I think that is the true mark of greatness. You've enjoyed that success as well, and that is a rarity. Most people, as they go through their career, and dare I say it, get a little bit older, become more grumpy and suffer fools less gladly. That was never a problem with you because you were grumpy at the start. And unfortunately, given the world is made up of fools, most of us are fools, you were never going to suffer them less. So grumpiness and suffering fools has never been your great strength. But the one thing you haven't done is been insular. You haven't become inward-looking. You've embraced new things as they've come along. You may have disparaged them to begin with, genetics or omics, or ways of measuring biology, but you then have incorporated them into your own work, and you've made them better because of that. You have remained open, and most importantly, you've remained curious as a child, like a child. So as I did a canvas of opinion over the coffee break, and then we met in the teachers' common room before coming, I'd like to say that most of us believe you do deserve a B+. Your Latin needs a bit of work. Sometimes in maths you do jump to the answer without showing all your work. We'd really like you to pay a bit more attention if you could. And we would really like you to at least give the impression of showing respect to others, your teachers, your peers, even if, yes, they are fools. And whatever you do, please don't try and drive and talk at the same time. It's dangerous to you, and it's dangerous to your passengers, and it's dangerous to humanity. So please don't. And if you could spend a little bit less time in the table football team, please do. But I'm going to give you 3 challenges as you go from middle school to high school, Richard, because I think these are 3 really profound challenges. In your period, your professional career, you've gone through a honeymoon phase. You may have helped that by the work you've done. But we are at risk at the moment of turning clinical research generally into something that's almost impossible to do for anybody young and anybody without a huge amount of funding behind them. We have to turn, as Rob described earlier, we have to turn the tide of what has become a bureaucratic nightmare in order to achieve. And if we don't turn this tide, the next generation of Richard Petos will not go into this space because they'll go into other things because it's easier to do and it's easier to forge a career. I think you need to use your voice in arguing for that, and don't underestimate the power that your voice will have in that. We are committed to doing that at Wellcome and with colleagues in this university and at Duke with Rob. But it does need other people to make that case for it. Secondly, we have been through a period of relative scientific enlightenment, I think, over the last 30, 40, 50 years. That is in danger from coming nationalism and coming questioning of experts. You are one of the sort of examples of experts, and I think we have to fight back against this, and I think as you move to the high school, it would be good if you could use your voice not amongst those that are like you, but amongst those that are not like you. If we don't watch, nationalism will drive us to a different direction, scientific experts will be misjudged, and the world will be a worse place for it. And finally, what is your advice if you happen to be head of a funding agency that we can do to address the first two issues? I don't want an answer to that, Richard, but I suppose I should ask for one. So yes, I think in answer to the title I was given, do we still need the Richard Peto? We don't want a Richard Peto 2, we don't want a Richard Peto Light, although Tom, that was a great talk. So the answer to the question I was given is yes, we still do need a Richard Peto, not to shy away, not to step away, not to loosen that voice. We still do need that voice. And in fact, I would argue we need that voice today more than we've ever needed it before. Thank you.